yes. Okay, so got one more minute. I wish it said 12 people waiting, but it just says 2 people waiting. And then one of these people that are waiting is coming tomorrow to put a deposit down.
Good.
Awesome.
Well, plus the $200 towards their booking. How about that? I just made sure that double checked. I'd already put in the consumer show, so it's good to go. So when you make a reservation, I'll give you that code and just say, hey, this should be applied to that booking. They'll show it in. It should be able to pop it right in there.
All right, so I'm gonna hit live on Facebook. It's preparing the screen. And I am recording. And oh, brother. Okay, let's go live. It's not working. Add a title. Shit, damn heck. Just go live, whatever. Oh, good. Of course, nothing works fast when you want it to work fast. Okay.
You're streaming live.
All right, we are live and we're gonna go let the people in. I'm gonna admit Pat and I'm gonna admit somebody's iPhone. All right. Let's wait until we see everybody. If y'all want to turn your cameras on, you can turn your cameras on, or if not, that's okay.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Pat, how are you?
Well, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. Is Sherry with you too?
Yes,
Yeah.
he is. You can't see us?
I can't see you yet.
Oh, okay.
And we have new Marge coming in. This is awesome.
Your screen.
I think we are good to go. I love technology. Hello, everybody. All right. Today is, I don't even know, today is April 15th.
Yay!
Hope you got your taxes done.
Is that tax? No, we got to get those in. Did we get an extension this year?
Yes, we do, by a month.
Whoa, my accountant's probably happy about that, but hello, everybody. I just want to thank you all very much for joining our Lunch and Learn today. I hope you have something delicious at your desk, and we hope that you enjoy this hour with us. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Lisa Fitzgerald, and I am the founder of Fitzgerald Travel, Rivers, Oceans, and Beyond. And to my left, I'm not sure where she is on your screen. This is Michelle Lillydahl.
Hi, everyone. How are you today? Thank you for joining us. I am the other half of Everything River Cruise, and Lisa and I are super excited that you all are here today because we have some great things in store. So go ahead, Lisa, and let's get this show on the road.
All right. So what I'm going to do, everybody, is do a share screen. And usually what happens when I try to share technology, we always have a little bleep. So let's see how this works out and we'll get this ball rolling. I'm excited to introduce you to my friend. And Michelle, can you let me know how that worked out?
It's perfect.
All right, everybody. So again, I just want to say thank you for joining us. Michelle and I are super duper excited, and I would like, this is Michelle and I, you can see us live, but for those who watch the recording later, you can see our cute pictures up here on the screen. And I have the honor and the privilege, everybody, to introduce you to my friend, my colleague, an industry master with Avalon Waterways, Mr. Eric Kelley.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today.
And Eric and I go back about 112 years. I've known Eric for a very, very long time in lots of different capacities. But Eric is with Avalon Waterways, and he is our guru. And we were so excited to go to him when Michelle and I decided to do a venture together to visit what I call my second home, Holland. We're going to be doing this amazing spring trip, Holland and Belgium, on the rivers. And I used to live there, and two of my children were born there. So I'm so happy to be going back. Eric, why don't you tell us a little bit of your history?
Well, thank you very much. I have been in the industry for quite a while. I come from a travel family. My dad and two older brothers were in the airlines, so I knew that I wanted to get into travel. Started with the large ship cruise lines back in the 80s. And if anybody remembers Commodore Cruises, they've been traveling a long time, or have a little bit of history on the river, the ocean cruises. Went to Celebrity and Royal Caribbean in the early 90s. Went to Princess for a number of years, moved back to Atlanta, where I'm from, and then ended up starting with Globus back in 2003. So I've been with them, I think that makes me almost 14 years. 14.
Yeah, yep.
So a little bit of experience. I really loved the land side. I thought it was going to be a short little transition until I got back into big ships, and I really have found a home with our diverse product line that we have. We have a land company, an independent travel company, two escorted land companies, and of course Avalon Waterways. We do a wide breadth of product, but today we'll just speak about Avalon and one particular cruise. But we have lots of stuff to offer and lots of vacation opportunities.
That's right. Lots of opportunity for questions. And also, I love Avalon. As you know, we've traveled together and seen some amazing things, done some
Yes,
biking,
we have.
some hiking, had some wine, a lot of wine. along our
Good wine at that.
and great wine at that. And I'm just so super excited. As Michelle and I really focus on river cruising and the river cruising experience, I'm just so happy to bring Avalon to our public and our fan base, because there's not just one river cruise line out there. There's many, over 10 majors that look and focus on North American travel. But I'm just so super excited about Avalon because there's so many different things that I will talk about as we go through the slides. So, okay, so here's do you guys see the picture? I've got a big.
No, something happened to the picture.
There
it goes.
There we go. That's perfect.
So to Marge and to iPhone and to Pat and everybody else that's joining along with us, I would like to talk just a smidgen about Michelle and I and our partnership. We are colleagues, but not only that, we are advisors with so many years of experience, and we just hyper focus on the water travel, especially river cruising. It's just the best, most immersive way to see so many different countries from a boutique floating hotel. So Michelle and I, this is one of our summits. So we often get together, and we get together to, come up with a new strategy and to talk about the river cruise experience, about our own personal experience, because we only sell what we have in our portfolio. And Avalon Waterways, in my last active and discovery cruise with them, was so phenomenal that now I want to bring to you a great itinerary to a country that I love and adore. So this is one of our strategy meetings that lasted, I think, 24 hours, right?
It did. It was an overnighter, and we had such a great time because we got to talk about, what we saw, what the future was after, as we get past COVID, and how we're going to bring our fan base and our clients, back to the rivers. So really excited.
I am too. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to use the chat box, and we can answer those as we go. So with that said, and now that you know us, all three of us as your new BFFs, let's talk about the possibilities. So Eric, let's have you, oh, actually, because I'm never on script. This screen, if you want to write down our names and our email addresses for any post-cruise questions you may have. We just wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity to write this down. And of course, this slide from Avalon is phenomenal, and you can't make this stuff up. Like, these are the views. These are the things that I call water's edge advantage. And I just love these pictures. So Eric, I'm going to let you take it from here, my dear.
Terrific. So when you talk about the possibilities and the views, that's what Avalon's all about. So it's all about, it's not inside the vessel, even though it's wonderful. It's about all those opportunities to see these great places along the river. Now, so that I give you an idea of one of the advantages that Avalon has brought to the marketplace are our cabins. When you think of the ships can only be 38 feet wide, if you build a balcony onto the cabin, it takes away from your cabin size. So we came up with a philosophy a number of years ago, actually 10 years ago, with these open air suites. And what we did is made the cabins larger, opened up a whole wall of glass. As you see on the right, these are 3 sliding glass doors. We angle the bed towards the opening, thus giving us even a larger bathroom, but makes it larger, makes it a larger living space. And when you open up that window, the whole room becomes the balcony.
Yeah.
So that our cabins have been voted the best cabins in river cruising 4 years running. And there's a lot of wonderful river cruise companies out there, but this is one of our key features that we have. And boy, are they nice. And I know that we saw one on the previous screen, but it gives you an idea of being able to see everything. Everything you want to see is outside the river. Our beds face the view. A lot of other companies, their beds face the wall. I don't want to go to Europe to see a wall. I want to go up and see those beautiful castles and cathedrals and vineyards along the river. So that's what separates us. And our cabins are larger, which also makes fewer passengers on our vessel.
And you know what, you guys, seeing is believing. I know that I've been looking and selling and giving the Avalon experience to our clients for 110 years, again, ever since their conception. But to see it is to believe it. And this next slide is literally the picture on the right-hand side that kind of melts in, is a picture from my bed. I think the last Avalon cruise I went on was just before COVID. And when I walked into my cabin, we had 2 beds because I didn't travel with my husband. I traveled with my sister. And the minute we walked in, it didn't take me but 5 seconds to whip open those curtains and open up this beautiful, I don't know what you call those things.
Open, so they're open air. Well, we call them French balconies. I don't know why, because there's no real balcony there, but it's kind of a French railing system. And it just opens up the whole wall of glass there. And I love the picture there with the church in the background there as you're cruising down the river.
Yeah.
Nice little sitting area there that you can have a water cocktail and be able to enjoy that view all the time.
This was definitely our morning ritual, our coffee in our cabin, and just opening up. This was a little bit of a gray day. However, it didn't cease to take my breath away every time, every morning, every day when I walked in. I was just like, So I also wanted to talk really.
Oh, that's a great view. That's a great view of the cabin.
Yeah, because this is really what it is. Like, there's no pomp and circumstance. This is really what it is. And this slide describes everything. Water's edge advantage, waking up to that or going to sleep to that is just absolutely phenomenal.
Wonderful. As you're cruising up the river, you can open those sliding glass doors and just hear the rush of the water and be able to see a church lit up at night. But what's great about those cabins is there's so much room to put your luggage under the bed. There's plenty of closet space. There's a wonderful vanity, a little sitting area with a little love seat. So we're all about embracing the views, not only in the cabins, but of course throughout the rest of the vessel.
Yeah, and they're pointed, less is more, but they're pointed so well. It's a very luxury luxurious product. And I wanted to tell you all too that are watching, like I'm starting with what we call the hardware. I'm talking about the ship right now. I'm very excited to get to our itinerary, but we just really want you to feel what it's like to be on the ship. For example, Eric, when you talked about the bathrooms, look how huge these are.
Yes, because we angled, like I mentioned before, we angled those walls and the beds towards the opening. It gives us a much larger bathroom. Look at all the marble and L'Occitane bath products, and it's a nice space. Two people can be in here at the same time, no problem.
Ooh, two
and
people in the shower?
I didn't hear that.
It's not that kind of
You're
show.
on vacation, so you know, it's up to you. But I'm a real big guy, you know, I'm 6'3", and it's a nice big shower stall. Like we just said, I don't have to soap the walls and spin around to take a shower. It's just a nice area to clean up and enjoy the.
And I will tell you that because I've cruised on many different river cruise lines, and this is by far the largest bathroom I have ever had been in.
Yeah, the setup is perfect because my husband works, you know, he can't always travel with me, and I travel with girlfriends, and the bathroom is large enough for two of us to be in there getting ready for the evening after a day being out, and the you know, being able to sit down in the chair or couch, love seat actually, really, but it's comfortable, and you can have a nice glass of wine, you know, just kind of watching the beautiful countryside go by.
Absolutely.
Also, like, because so now you've seen your cabin, right? They're spacious, they're beautiful, luxurious. But let's just talk a little bit about the common space.
Again, all about the views. Glass, glass, glass. You want to be able to see all these beautiful sights along the river. If the weather is a little inclement, we got a couple areas outside that are covered up. If it's really nice, go to the top deck that we can see both sides of the river. But these, the top one on the left is the lounge bar. This is where we do a lot of the port talks and get-togethers and entertainment at night. Also on the right's the same room, the forward-looking area. And then here's just some of the big, huge rooms. And look at the wonderful windmill right there.
Yeah.
With Holland. And again, we don't want you to be in the vessel and be able to miss these beautiful views. So it's all about the glass and the openness and airiness of the vessels. That's how we designed them.
Yeah. And my seat is usually the first or second bar stool when you walk in. So on our group, you probably always find me there for pre-dinner drink. And Michelle.
I'm on the last one on the right. That's where I go, the backside. See who's coming in.
All right. Water's at Advantage again. These literally are the views that you all see while you're sitting in a very comfortable place on the sofa, like being in your living room.
Look how the wonderful designs, the color palette, the mauves and the pastels. It's really tastefully done. I love this picture because this is an actual photo with the Parliament building in Budapest right out the window. So how great is that?
That is probably one of my favorite scenes every time you do a sail by, you know, the Parliament, when you do the
It is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely.
And of course, we always have that bar again.
Yeah, different vessel here, but again, you can see the wonderful colors that they have in here, and a great area. You don't miss any of the sights as you're sitting in this area. You can see right out the windows there. Big, huge.
And the bartenders are great because I know when I have sailed with Avalon, they remember you, and you know, we became close with our bartender, and he made sure we had our drink, you know, when we came there for the evening the evening entertainment. So it's really a great experience, even in the common area. Very relaxing.
Our largest ship is 168 passengers. Our other vessels are 128. So they're smaller numbers and some of the other river cruise companies. So they do have a chance to really interact with you, get to know you, and build up the relationship, and knowing what you're having to drink by the next night. That's really terrific. Yeah.
And then, that's a good point about the common area. Like, let me just go back a slide. You see these tables, like sometimes some guests just feel like chilling out and they'll bring cards, we'll play cribbage. There's usually a table that has a puzzle on it. People are working on the puzzle, like your living room. So, and this is one of my, favorite places.
That area up front. Now, that's one of those areas that I told you about that if it is kind of drizzling or cloudy or you just want to kind of stay under cover, this is the forward section of the vessel. You can go outdoors on either side and be able to get out there and enjoy a cocktail or read a book and be right at the front of the vessel. And we have another lounge at the very back of the vessel that has also an outdoor area. So if it's beautiful and sunny, get up on the top deck and enjoy the fresh air, and you'll hear the commentary of the sights along the river from the cruise director. Again, it just laid out well, very spacious, and again, all about the glass and the views.
And it's also a great meeting space for groups. Not even just meeting, but like knitting clubs, scrapbooking clubs, anything that we've done a whole gamut of different types of group travel. This is a great spot. All right.
This is our dining room, and really the key about here that really stands out. If you look on the right-hand side here, if you notice, these are two tops. Very few river cruise companies have a lot of two tops. And the reason I bring that up, we have the 6 tops and the 4 tops and larger tables. But when a lot of people get on the river cruise, if they're just a couple, maybe they don't want to intermingle the first night or two. They want to kind of spend time and enjoy their vacation. And as they meet people, they have a chance to, sit in larger groups. But not being forced to sit with other folks is kind of nice, where you have that nice quiet evening, enjoy the start of the vacation. So I think that's a big seller for us, being able to have those. If we need a table, we can push them together and turn those 2s into 4s, no problem, or 6s.
Very, very, a lot of versatile, a lot of variety, a lot of opportunities. So, and it's very funny because I found often in many years of river cruising that, the people that you meet when you first come on a cruise ship, ironically, end up to be the people that you connect with through the rest of the cruise. So, all right, look at this beautiful place.
Oh, wow, that's that forward lounge I was speaking about, so that if you want to get out and even if it's pretty out like this day is, nice areas to sit, have a cocktail, read a book as you're cruising up the river. Again, a wonderful area to enjoy.
And then let's talk a little bit before we get into our itinerary about the flexible dining.
A lot of companies, as well as we did, we used to 7 o'clock, meals start at 7, be there. People would line up to get down and get in there and start enjoying the wonderful cuisine that we have. But some people didn't want to be forced to have to be there at 7 o'clock. So now we have flex dining, where you can actually get there between 7 and 8 at any point and be able to eat all evening long. But I'll tell you one thing I found out. People like that flexibility, but what happens is they find that one really good waiter and they go, well, let's get down the line first so we can get his table, because you built up that rapport pretty early on in the cruise. And if you do that, they know already what you want, what you're drinking, some of your choices. So people go get in line, go grab a glass of wine from the bar, and then go down and wait for it to open up to get that table. But you're not forced to do that. You can wait till up till 8 o'clock to go in and enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, that's what my husband likes the most about river cruising. And not just the dining room, but the opportunity to choose from, multiple.
Absolutely. Yeah. So here you can have a morning kind of continental served to your room if you'd like. Now, when I mentioned when the weather's nice and get up on the top deck, when on a few days where the weather's really nice, we'll do these outdoor bistros up on the top right, and that's, you can see already they have a wonderful buffet up there with brats and chicken and steak, and there's ice cream and wine and beer is being served, and you can enjoy the sights along the river and enjoy a wonderful lunch there. So again, get outside, enjoy it if the weather permits. The bottom left is the forward section of the lounge where we do little tastings during the course of the week. The main dining room in the middle, and they'll even pack a little picnic lunch if you're interested in that. As another choice. So many choices to dine, and all with the views, as you can see.
That's amazing. Also, when we're talking about food and we're talking about wine and we're talking about regional beer, let's talk about what's included with your meals.
Yes, complimentary beer and wine, sparkling wine during lunch and dinner. The nice thing that we have is the sparkling wine at breakfast. And if we're in France cruising, we'll do champagne, but sparkling wine. Our captain on one of our ships said the more mimosas we drank, the better the weather was going to be. So we worked hard at it. And but it's nice to be able to enjoy that. There's no cost. There's the unlimited. It's not one glass of wine and that's it. You're going to have to put a napkin over the top of it while they're filling it up.
That is true. True story. True story.
It is true. But Eric, I have a question for you. I'm hoping you can share with everyone. Now, post-COVID, when, we're so used to like breakfast being or lunch being a buffet style, what will it look like with Avalon Waterways as far as, I'm assuming that they won't be doing a buffet like we're traditionally used to?
Correct. They're going to be doing menu items, certainly in the short term, hopefully down the road, whenever that may be, we'll be getting back to the buffet styles because they're love the buffets with the choices that they have. But they'll have that, and they'll also have fewer touch points. I know that we have the daily activities. It'll be run on the TV screen in the room. Everything will be on the Avalon app that gives you all the details about the departure, where you're going, your flight schedules, also the daily activities will be on there, and also the daily menus you'll be able to find out. So before you go in the dining room, you'll know what they're going to be serving that night, so they don't have to give you a menu. And if you want one, they'll give you one. But again, try to reduce those touch points. There's always the cleaning, the hand sanitizers on both sides of the dining room as you enter, in all the public rooms. So, and then we're going to be cleaning the ship. And I think we're going to talk about protocols a little bit here. Also, some of the things we do to make sure we're keeping our customers absolutely safe as soon as things open up.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And Marge, you had a very good question, and we're going to answer that when I'll get through the ship information, and then we'll come to that, your question, which is an excellent question. So we've talked about the ship. We've talked about, and we've seen the accommodations. We've talked about the dining. Let's talk about, and of course, the beer and the wine. Let's talk about what we do. What are your opportunities while you're river cruising? So let's talk about adventures, and maybe we can touch a little bit about active and discovery after this slide.
Okay. The typical river cruise has what they call the classic excursions. And the classic excursion is the cathedrals, the castles, the museums. All the river cruise companies do that. They all do a wonderful job. But what we decided to do is develop a subset of all of our Avalon itineraries and develop the active and discovery itineraries, giving multiple choice opportunities to do excursions instead of just the one historic walking tour. And that's something we developed. And this is the one that you and I were on a couple of years ago, and the one that you were excited about, especially when we added this. This is a relatively new itinerary for us, and we, of course, have added some new ones for this year. But that active discovery is really, really popular because of the multiple activities people can choose from in that one location.
Yeah, and you know what I like so much about the active and discovery themed cruises? I mean, it's all country club casual anyway, but the people that we seem to gravitate towards active and discovery, like I think on our last cruise together, people were in their biking pants probably the whole cruise. There was a ton. There must have been, it had to be a biking club on board with us, but
they also had those hikers. Remember that group of hikers that was on board?
Yep.
They got off. I mean, talk about serious hikers with their walking sticks and their hiking boots. They did that smugglers trail right up that Austrian-German border. They took them by a little motor coach up to the smugglers hiking trail. They walked off for a number of miles, and then they were again, and they were picked up by the ship in a different location. So they left, the ship kind of took off, and by the time we were around a couple of bends in the river, they were on a hike, and we picked them back up.
Yeah, that was, this was like, I think that was my 19-miler bike ride. And But we
Down
did
to the
it.
Blue Church.
Yeah, we did it. And then one of the other discovery tours that we did is the winery walk, where we walk through the vineyards and the apricot orchard. And you know, this is one of my favorite things about you all is the several different choices, like especially with active and discovery. You know, it attracts a lot of people who love to be outdoors. I mean, they love to be more active and are not happy just being sedate and doing the walking cruise. But, you know, not for anybody to worry is you know, it's great for all levels,
Absolutely. Their multi-generation groups is perfect for, with so many different activities to choose from.
Yeah. Especially if you
Pretty
love
that is.
and you like walking and you like biking and you like kayaking. Oh my gosh, kayaking on the Danube. Remember that?
Yeah. That was a bit of we got our exercise in that day. That's for
Oh my
sure.
gosh, I know, but it was plenty of room for croissants in the morning.
I was gonna say it's so good because usually when I travel, I end up losing weight because I'm walking and being active throughout, you know, the day, and then I get to come back and enjoy all the great food that
Absolutely.
chefs can put together. So
Wow.
I'm very happy now. Like now that we've got a good idea of what the ship life is like, let's talk about our particular itinerary, which is so near and dear to me. I love Holland so much that my second oldest daughter is named after Holland when I lived there. Her name is Holly Lynn. All right, so let's get into the exciting part.
the exciting part. Woohoo.
Well, the great part about this one, of course, is the round trip Amsterdam. That really helps out. You know, the open jaw. If you go into one city and out of another city, there's always that an additional flight or different connections or so on. But in and out of one city already is a plus for this itinerary.
So you also can see, like, this is just a recap of what's included on our cruise. And for anybody who's watching us on this live Zoom or the Facebook, you can just contact Michelle and I, and we'd be happy to share these slides with you. But you've got, you know, I don't have to read it out loud because you pretty much can see that it's pretty inclusive trip. So our first day is in
Amsterdam. Yeah, how beautiful.
Yeah.
Love the flowers there. Yeah, it's just a great city that it's so historical, and the canals really add to that, the ability to be on the water, and history, bikes, and canals. I think that's probably a good anthem for Amsterdam, I would think.
It's perfect weather too, because it's about, you know, the low 70s, you know, during that time of year that our cruise will be, you know, where we'll be sailing. So it's actually perfect weather. It really is.
That looks like the Rijksmuseum there in the distance on
Yep.
this picture, I think, which is absolutely the Vermeers, and the artwork in that museum are spectacular. So you'll probably have some time to be able to do some of that and visit that museum if you can.
And I've got all the ins and outs of everything Amsterdam and pretty much everything Holland. So I could be your go-to person if anybody has any questions about all these amazing places that we're going to visit. But we have so much time here, you know, if you want to talk about what we do on day one, Eric, like what kind of choices do we have?
Well, day one, you're going to do the city tour. It's more of embarkation. You're going to get into Amsterdam. If you don't come in early, you got to arrive, I think, by no later than around between 3 and 3 o'clock, I think, is the latest you want to get in. Go in early. I always suggest that. And the reason is it gives, let's just backtrack and say, if you fly into Europe and you're going to get on the ship the next day, try to sleep as much as you can. When you go to the ship, don't take a nap. That'll mess your clock up. But I always suggest, if you can, go in a day early, try to sleep on the way over. Don't take a nap, maybe take a cat nap, and then stay up as long as you can that night. Maybe go to bed at 8 o'clock and then sleep a full night. And it'll really help you out with your jet lag, kind of avoid that a little bit. But Amsterdam's such a wonderful city. You're in and out of that city. So why not go in an extra day and be able to do some of the things that may not be included on the tour? There's so much to do while you're in this just wonderful European city.
let's talk a smidge about Kuchenhof and a wonderful experience that usually lasts 4 to 5 weeks. It always happens, starts about the second week of April and goes into the second week of May, but it's Kuchenhof and we get to go there.
Yeah, and that's going to be, you have that option of getting there on day one to get a chance to maybe go down there. I love this picture because I actually saw kind of this when I was there, that the way that they grow these 7 million tulip bulbs, they plant different ones. It looks like a blue road coming through these beautiful tulips.
Yeah.
And the multitude, I think we were talking earlier, I forget, there's tens, I think, thousands of different varieties of tulips they grow here. And there's colors and tulips like you've never, ever seen before. It is absolutely remarkable. And when you're flying into Holland during this season, these fields of gorgeous rainbow colors all over the countryside is just breathtaking. From the plane, it's really terrific. Just to even start, before you've landed, you're already getting a glimpse of this, and it's wonderful.
It is amazing.
The aromas are intoxicating.
That is absolutely true. Excuse me, it really is. And I know that by living in Holland too, they dig up all these tulip bulbs every year and replant a new design for the springtime. And they're planted in season, so they are always blooming for those 5 weeks. Day 2, we hit Middelburg, as you would say, Middelburg.
The back of your throat there.
Yeah. This is a lovely little place too.
It is, and one thing I want to share about with you is the different excursions that we have. As I mentioned before, on our regular European itineraries, we do the classic tour. Now, in Middelburg is one of those cities where you have multiple choices. An idea of some of the ones we do. There's, of course, the guided walk through town. Almost every one of our locations is going to have that city tour, incorporating the history and the significance of that particular destination. You'll do that, but discover you have a chance to go over to the Delta Works. And the Delta Works is the area which right there is really controls the water. This is the biggest water control system in the world, since most of Holland is underwater. I always thought this was interesting because New Orleans kind of went over and learned a lot about water control from this area and how they control those, especially after Katrina when they were revamping that whole program. So you have a chance to visit the Delta Works. You also be able a chance to go a family-owned oyster farm and learn a little bit about the oystering industry there. And then also there's that city tour that I mentioned before. You have a chance to see the town hall. Just the churches in Europe and cathedrals are absolutely fantastic. And this is the big one here. You have chances, Bavos. I think that's how they pronounce that, or Babos.
Uh-oh, I can't turn that off, so sorry. But I really wanted to, we've got these opportunities to do 2-3 different things, but also you don't, anybody want to get that? You don't have to take any of the tours, or you can do the short walking tour if you wanted, and then just go off on your own. Because we are big explorers. We like to just get up in the morning, have our coffee, and just leave the ship. So, you could explore on your own. You really can't get lost because you just got to find your way back to the water.
That's an excellent point, Lisa. And when you're doing river cruisings, you're docking right at the city centers of most of these places. And if you don't want to get off and do the walking tour and learn a little bit about the history, or you want to just do your own thing, you can find that little cafe along the river and then wander the streets. I love antiques, and you talk about antiques in the US, you talk about real antiques in Europe.
No kidding.
Places
Yeah.
And see things are hundreds of years old in these little antique stores. It's a great way to window shop or do your own thing. We provide, especially on the Active Discovery cruises, so many choices, but again, the choice is yours.
So what I'm going to do is pop through a few more slides quickly because we want to leave enough time for questions and answers. So I'm just going to go right here to day 3, and when we go to Ghent, which is an amazing
mountain bike tour here. You can do a mountain bike tour is one of the excursions that we offer here. Also, of course, historical historical walk of the city from the tour guide, giving you kind of the highlights and the significance of that particular town. A discovery here is what's neat about Ghent is we have one where they go to an area where graffiti is they have left this area open to artists so that they can do all their different painting. And so you'll have a chance to go do that too and do your own graffiti in this particular area. Very interesting, beautiful colors, and they let the artists kind of go wild there.
Day 4, we're in Brussels, which is one of my favorite memories from when I lived in Holland. We used to go down to Brussels quite often. And that's
Another bike tour here. But I think really one of the cool things that we do with the Discovery is you get to go make some chocolate.
Yay, because Belgian chocolate.
Belgian
so-
chocolate.
Yep.
Mhm.
If we had time, I'd tell you a Belgian chocolate story, but we don't have time, but it's a funny story. So maybe the next time.
Making your own Belgian chocolate. Everybody's heard about, Belgian chocolate. Let me make some too. Antwerp, another great city there. Let's see, active. You're doing another bike tour. Here you have a chance to go to the Red Line Museum, which was the area that helped people come from Europe take the Red Line and then immigrate to the New World. So this was kind of an area that moved people that way. And then of course the city walking tour and learn of the Grote Market that they have, the city market, and you'll see this. Oh, there's the Grote Market there.
I love this market. I loved all the markets that were in Grote, actually, like the antiques. There's one actually called an animal market where you can go get kittens and puppies. It was so much fun. And then of course we move on to Rotterdam.
Again, Rotterdam, you'll get a chance to see a lot of the historical there. They go around this little area where they have these cube houses that are very old, but gorgeous little harbor here. Then you'll of course have the chance to do the city historical tour, and Rotterdam's got a lot of history involved with that one. Also here in Rotterdam, you have a chance to go to the Delft pottery, and you get to paint your own pottery at Delft. So what a neat experience that is. So that, again, a wide variety of different experiences that you can kind of choose from, or walk around on your own and get lost in a beautiful city.
Oh my gosh, the Delft, oh my gosh. So yeah, Delft is so much fun, and I can't wait to bring more of that home. See, I'm so excited right now. I'm not even there yet. I should have a countdown calendar on my thing right now.
Gonna be here before you know it, Lisa.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Coffee bucket. Oh, I love this, especially with a nice either pannekoeken or the Dutch apple pie. Delights galore, my friends, galore.
Look at the talent there of making that design in that coffee. How pretty is that?
It's delicious.
And mine wouldn't look anything like that.
No, mine wouldn't either. So we'll just leave the professional slide up to the professional photographer.
Yep.
I actually have some pictures of my coffee I could have put on this slide, but it was too embarrassing.
Well, it tastes great, but it's not as pretty. That's for sure. So when you show back up on day 7, you're going to have a multiple choice kind of day with the different activities there. You get a biking tour, and all these biking tours are escorted, and they stop at historical places and really cool spots off the beaten path with a bicycle trip, which is always nice. And again, they'll show you the really key spots and also off other areas. Look at the crooked buildings. It's so funny to see those. But then you'll have a chance to do the canal cruise, which is almost a must see. If you've never been to Holland and done that, and be able to see the wonderful architecture from there. Always like those little cranes at the top. Oh, that's right. All those little cranes at the top that hoist the furniture and everything up to the big doors. I think that's a great way.
Even in modern times, because when I lived in there, I lived in a building that was similar to like this bright red one. And when our furniture arrived, when it came from the United States, that's how they got everything up. They still use those. You have to, because you can't fit them through the doors, especially American furniture, because we have a lot.
Yeah, and big furniture too. So
yeah, and this is an incredible place. Oh my gosh, Altamira.
That's gorgeous. I mean, just be able to look at all the different styles of bulbs and They are quite the horticulturists over there in Holland, that's for sure. But look how
And you can
look at the wonderful
order.
choice of colors to choose from.
I wish I could show you my front garden. I have a 200 tulip tubes outside from all the times I've been to Holland to collect them. This too at Ellesmere, if you go, you can order your bulbs and they'll ship them home for you.
You could be the only one with those kind of bulbs in your garden. People say, "Where'd you get those flowers?"
You know. And then day 8, we sadly have to go home. That's
But you want to extend your trip, we can always help them with that too.
right.
Absolutely, and having a company that has multiple brands, we have Land and River Cruise, Independent, as I mentioned. We can add other nights in those destinations, or if you wanted to extend and go to another country, you could certainly do that. Go to maybe London or Paris and do that with maybe our Monograms independent program. So we tie all of our products in together and they support each other.
Michelle and I can help you with that, but I want to just go over really quick. A lot of people may be curious about, post-COVID travel. So this might be an important slide to just.
It is, small ships. One thing we've seen during the course of this is people that have always wanted to do a river cruise. Maybe they were a big ship cruiser. Maybe in the short term, they'll go ahead and do that river cruise because they've heard such positive things about it, and then go back to the big ship cruises. We have ships from 36 to 166 passengers. Our largest vessel, like 166 of the big rivers of Europe. 36 is our passengers on the Mekong, on that vessel. That's pretty interesting. And you travel in a bubble when you're kind of on a river cruise. You're with the tour guide when you go off the vessel. We have tickets to the entrances to the sites.
No lines, no waiting in lines.
No VIP access to the must-see sites. One thing about river cruising, we do not recirculate the air through the ship. Every cabin has its own independent filtration system. And they also have those beautiful, wonderful doors you can open up to get some nice fresh air in there also. Sweet, safe, and sound cruising, real important now is how do we keep our customers safe? We have these hydrostatic cleaners, which is really interesting. If you want to go in and clean a room in the old days, you go in with the cleaning chemicals and it takes about an hour and a half for that smell to get off, and it's time consuming. Now they have these little machines go in and they attach to all the surfaces in the room, including opening the closet. Every single hanger in the closet is treated. So you can clean a room in 10 minutes, clean the ship multiple times. They have temperature checkers at the door. If there's anybody with a fever, and the good thing about rivers is you're close to safety and hospitals and medical care right there. You're not in the middle of the ocean, but we have connections all along the rivers. Peace of mind, we rolled out last year. What's nice about this is you have the ability to block a vacation with us on this wonderful Holland trip. And let's just have terrible news and say that somehow we get close and maybe it cancels or you feel nervous about going. You can take that and move it to any other vacation in our portfolio. Up until at final payment, you can move it to any other Avalon departure, or you can pick another departure in our whole portfolio of vacations from the US or South America or Asia, all the 6 different continents. We have 514 different vacations you could choose from. So what this means is if you want to pick, certainly take advantage of this cruise that the girls are hosting, do so. And then if something happens, you can move it to another destination. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to be a wonderful time to go. But if you wait till later on, you may not be joining them. People are starting to fill up. Next year's already tight. It's already. So
Eric, can you answer a question Marge had about single travelers?
Yes, we do have single cabins available, and if she's interested on this, we need to reach out quickly. We do limit the number of those at no single supplement, so that's something we need to check in right away. Most companies I think do offer a little bit of those now, but we don't charge any surcharge on that, but there is a limit to it. So react quickly, and immediately you're incorporated into the group. You can do anything that you want to do or join everybody. And that's great for single travelers because you still have the independence, but then you can kind of join the group as you meet them and make your own friends or have your solitary time when you need it. That's kind of nice too.
I think that's a great question. And we often have solo travelers. As a matter of fact, I think I have a solo traveler on this, but you're never alone. I mean, you can be alone if you want to be alone naturally. We don't want to say you have to be with the group. That's one of the beautiful things about traveling together as a team. But what Avalon offers with the no single supplement, which means if you normally travel by yourself on some of the large cruise lines, you're paying for two people, even though you're one. So that's very important. Like Eric said, if you join our group, that we reach out to Michelle rather quickly because those no solo supplements go very, very, very fast.
Single supplement is in charge. Yeah, you can waive that single supplement. Yeah.
And it's not a very large ship, so they're very limited. And then I want to answer Margie's other question about, because I always taunt the active and discovery tours is not your Nana's cruise. And what I mean by that is the opportunity. So there's a lot of people that go on active and discovery that are like serious hikers and serious bikers. They bring their own gear. They do all these crazy things, but that doesn't mean it's not for beginners, slow walkers, or anything like that. All those are considered by Avalon, and there's something for everyone at every single level.
You can experience the cruise your way. Seriously.
Yeah. And I'm one of those gentle walkers myself. I mean, I do like to hike, but I like to hike on flat surfaces. So does that really mean hiking? I don't know. When we're on our bike tours, there's always someone from Avalon with the last person in line. Trust me. I know. So let's, we have the best group pricing. Okay, so how this works when you travel with a group is Michelle and I have special group pricing, which is an amazing price point, and we can talk about that when we talk to you personally. But I and Michelle and Eric have a huge bonus for you. Our pricing is already phenomenal, but Eric,
as you guys have taken the time to join us this afternoon, we have another little perk for the next 2 weeks as kind of a thank you. So we're knocking off another $100 per person for the next 2 weeks on top of the group rates and all the wonderful promotions that we have out there. It doesn't affect any of that at all. But if you want to go with us, you got 2 weeks to kind of decide, but go and take advantage of that. It's just a thank you from the girls for having this little get together, fill you in on this terrific trip through Holland. And $100 will buy you some nice tulip bulbs.
Exactly.
It's pretty exclusive. Like Eric said, you know, a lot of times when you see these promos, they are not combinable. But for 2 weeks, this extra $100 per person is. Michelle?
So exciting, so exciting. I do want to share with everyone that Lisa and I are really excited to let you guys know that we are launching a private Facebook group called Everything River Cruise. And so be on the lookout over the course of the next few weeks, because we'll be doing another Facebook Live and sharing all that exciting news with you coming up. And also for being here today. If everybody wants to put their email addresses in the chat box, I have this beautiful, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it, Lisa? Because I can't see me.
Oh, I can see it. Come up a little bit.
He says.
Okay, so it's a wine cooler carrier, and it's got a couple of fun little things in there as well. It is just just a small gift to let you guys know we really appreciate you coming on today, and so excited about our small group river cruise with Avalon. It's like a home away from home. The moment you board the ship to when you leave, it's just so warm and inviting, and everyone on board just makes you feel so welcome and special. So I hope to see you guys soon. And also, one last thing is, if you want to join us for an evening event, it will be a little bit of this, but more detailed on what the river cruise will hold, what the river cruise will hold for us. I put in the chat box a link where you can sign up. You do have to sign up for this. This is not going live, but so we hope you can join us on that as well.
And also, I did record this session. So if there's anybody out there listening that would like to hear the session again, you can email lisa@fitzgeraldtravel.com. I'll be happy to send it to you. Also, I can make the slides shareable with you. And we even fed this, did a live feed to Fitzgerald Travel on Facebook, so you can view it again if you'd like. And absolutely, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. I do want to ask, in the next 2 weeks, it's a really great time to get booked on the group because of the incentive that Eric has given to us. So our contact information is on this page as well. Michelle is leading the what do you call it, Michelle?
I'm gathering everyone's information so that we can make sure that you get the brochure that we've put together specifically for our group. And again, I hope that you'll join us on the 22nd, which is going to be a lot of fun as well.
So Eric, I would like to thank you, and I'll call you afterwards, obviously, for sharing your hour plus with us. We really feel honored to have such greatness in our presence, and we're very happy to be promoting and traveling with Avalon again. We are so excited and craving travel so much, and things are really opening up back in Europe, and it's not going to be long until the water takes us away again.
No, things are opening up. Everybody's getting excited. Things are starting to happen. We're working our way out of this. But Michelle, Lisa, thank you very much for inviting me on to share this wonderful destination, our product that does it. And I hope they did. I'm excited. I want to go. I want to get on it, and I want to see some other parts of the world. And but thanks again for giving me the opportunity to join you guys today.
Yes, I want to ask I or Marge or Pat, do you have any further questions before we end our session? And Pat, I know I'll see you tomorrow. You're coming by the office, and we're excited.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes. You mentioned that when we're traveling along the rivers, we're going to be seeing all these sites, and we don't know what they are. Is there going to be somebody that's going to let us know as we progress?
Typically what happens is the cruise director, as they go along the river, sometimes they'll give ongoing commentary of, coming up in the next 20 minutes, we're going to be going by a whole set of windmills. So get your cameras ready. They try to alert you of significant sites that we're coming up on the river. In a lot of cases, you're stopping at some of those places to visit them. But if there's something significant along the river, they'll holler out and let you know.
Also, Sherry, I know all the sites because I've been there. That's good. But there's something actually, Michelle and I will also be providing you a guide. So you have reading material in advance. So you are well prepared for our itinerary. But you know what I forgot to mention is on these tours, you guys, I should have put a picture up, but when you're on the tours, they give you an earpiece and it's called Whisper. And no matter if you're on top, like two feet from the guide, or I don't know how many yards back, you have plenty of space to hear clearly what the guide, the professional, educated, English-speaking guide is telling you about all the sites and all the tours. Even when you're biking, you can hear everything.
Yeah, so the days of walking up close to your tour guide who's holding an umbrella in the air so that you can keep track of them, you don't have to do that anymore. And all the companies are doing this now where they have a headpiece. The tour guide will have a little mic system so that you're able to look in that, like for me, look in that wonderful antique store and check it out, but still not missing any commentary about the history of the locale that you're in.
One other question. On these bike tours, what is the average length of the tours as far as time? Because a lot of people haven't ridden a bike in several years, perhaps.
Are you
Well,
speaking for yourself, Sherry?
No, I've rode one within the last 10 years.
There will be different links and levels. They'll be able to advise you specifically if it's one. Is it going to be a leisurely little one? There's a lot of times there's stops along the way, a chance to rest. And is this going to be a rigorous ride or is this going to be a pleasure ride? Now, some of with Active and Discoveries, we have a tendency to have maybe some longer itineraries. But I think the answer for you is we have bikes on board. You on the biking tour, you can grab 2 of these bikes and go out and 100 yards if you want. So
Actually, that's true. When we pulled
yeah, so
into,
you can.
yeah, I would often like, I would just grab the bikes. Actually, Sherry and Pat and I and Marge, they're off the ship. So when you get off the ship, they're already lined up with helmets and everything. And you can just take it and pedal into city center or pedal down. In Europe, all of the waterways have bike paths. And I went off all by myself. I was with my sister on the last Active and Discovery cruise. I just put on a helmet and just went out for like 15 minutes. I went to an ice shop, went and got an ice cream, ate the ice cream, put my little helmet back on, pedal on back. So easy.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You can do your own bike trip at your own pace.
Okay, very good.
And listen, I took Gunny on it too. He went on one with me. It was quite comical, but he got it. After about 10 minutes, he got it.
Okay.
Is there any other questions that we might have today?
Do our cell phones work over there or not?
Is that from Pat?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll answer that tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they do. It depends on your phone though. So,
Right. So, yeah.
all right. If
Okay.
anybody has any other questions, Pat and Jerry, I'll see you tomorrow at 1. I thank you very, very much for joining us, and Marge as well. You all have our email addresses and we'll be so happy to talk to you further. If you haven't, thanks, Marge. Thank you so much. Michelle and I, water travel is our life, and this is what we do. This is what we're passionate about. I'm gonna trip on my words because I get very excited every time I talk about or think about traveling again on the water. So, all right, with that, then I bid everybody.
Bye. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you very
us.
much. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.